So the state of Wisconsin is going to be looking at legislation that requires placement agencies to disclose how they're getting paid, because they promote themselves as a free service when in fact, behind the scenes, they do get paid. And are they really giving you a fair option? All of those things are things to think about. But let's talk a little bit about what a placement agency is. So a Place for Mom, we've seen the commercials. They've got Joan London. She's talking about finding a nice place for your loved one and this free service and the things they do. We've seen the commercials. When I first started in this industry as a marketing person, I knew the representatives from a Place for Mom. I seen them a lot at the meetings, and it was kind of an interesting concept to me of what they did and how they got paid, because they were kind of like, wanted to portray themselves as partners with a really hefty fee. So how it really works is they contract with assisted living companies, so such as the one that I work for. For example, back then we were contracted with them and we used their service. So they would bring us a potential lead or someone who was looking for services. And when that person moved in, we paid them a fee. Now, when I first started with the company, the fee was about half of the first month's admission. So back then, because we're dating myself 16 years ago, that fee was anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500, roundabout. As the years progressed and we continued to be in contract with them, they would revise their contract, and the contract then would ask for more and more for referrals. So how do they find people? Well, typically you go to their website, you enter in all of your information. They also ask for the budget of your loved one. This is the way they figure out if you're qualified. So to be qualified for them to get paid, you have to be a private pay. What that means is that your loved one has to be able to pay privately for assisted living services. If your loved one doesn't have enough monthly income or asset to privately pay, and they need assistance from family care or Medicaid, then you are not qualified for them to make the referral, and typically they would not get paid. So how does this work? Well, what they do is they take all of your information that you give them, and then what they call a senior advisor will call you. They'll ask more questions, and from there they take all of your information and they send it to everyone in the area that you're looking, all the assisted livings. And then brace yourself, because you're about to be called by a number of different marketing or salespeople or executive directors. And this often caught people by surprise. They did not know that a Place for Mom was going to share their information. And sometimes when I'd make those calls to those families, they were angry. So once I got the lead from a Place for Mom, I always made a point to try to call right away, because I wanted to be the first one to call. Because if I was the last one to call by that time, they were usually angry. They didn't realize that all these people were going to be calling them. And they also didn't understand that there was a fee that was going to be paid. So the question is, are they really sending you to the best assisted living? They're sending your information out to all of these companies that are going to pay them. What if there's an assisted living in the area that's not contracted with them? They may still be on their list. But here's the thing. They have an internal scoring system. So just like you go out to Google and the star rating, well, they have an internal star rating on their system that they control. So how does that work exactly? Is it really unbiased? Are they controlling the stars of companies that aren't contracted with them? Perhaps they're lower score ratings. So here's the thing, is if you're working with